2026 City Council meeting for the city of Lamar. Oh, okay, I thought you were on, so.
No, I thought it changed that.
Good evening and welcome to the Monday, July 27th, 2026 City Council meeting for the city of Lamar. I'm Mayor Kirk Crespin. We've had a lot of different activities going on in the community, a lot of things that are happening. I know one of the great things was last weekend, we were able to celebrate the grand opening of Powers County Market. And we do have the Brown family here tonight that will speak a little bit later, but we are looking forward to a good meeting. We have a few people that are out sick today and on our council, but we do have a quorum. So thank you to Joe for joining us via Zoom, and Brad Johnson will be here shortly as well. In the meantime, we're going to go and get started. We do have the invocation by Ray Madsen. Ray?
In heaven, we do come before you today, thankful God for the blessings that we have in being a part of this community and the things that are happening. But we do also pray for just some relief from the heat and God, that you would send some rain our way, which is so desperately needed. So Father, we pray for that, and we ask God your blessing upon this soul tonight as they work through their agenda, as they make decisions, as they give further direction to our city. God, give them wisdom and guidance. Protect them and their families in Jesus' name.
Amen. We'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Councilman Zavala, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the time is now 7:02 p.m. I will call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Joe Gonzalez,
Here by Zoom.
Mark Henley,
Here.
Jerry Jenkins, Kirk Crespin,
Here.
David Zavala.
Here.
Brad Johnson, Brent Bates, Christian Swartz. Here. Mitch Hammis,
Here.
Lance Clark. Here.
Okay, we've all had an opportunity to review the agenda. Were there any changes or modifications?
Just the one there on the executive session commentary. We had originally put it as CRS 246402A, 424A. It's supposed to be 4024B, but the description is correct. Main and urban development.
Okay, so we would need to approve the agenda with the following modification. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do we have a motion to make that change?
I'll make the motion to make the change.
I'll second it.
Are you doing that under consent agenda with the change?
I was just gonna do it separate. We'll just do it by voice. All right, seeing a motion and a second, all those in favor, just say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay, so we'll make that modification to the agenda. And we'll move on to the consent agenda. I did not see any items that need to be removed. Did we have any? Okay, so we would just need a motion to approve the consent agenda as submitted.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as submitted.
I'll second that. Awesome.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as submitted. All those in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay. Moving right along, we have the public comment portion of this meeting. During this portion of the meeting, anyone may speak on any subject that does not appear on the agenda. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each, and that is at the discretion of the council. Is there anybody here that would like to speak to the council on an item? If you want to come on up to the podium, please. Looks like we have our special guest here.
Yep. We get him there for preferential seating.
All right.
All right. My family's also going to join me here. So we had the privilege and honor of opening our stores, doing our store's grand opening this past weekend of Powers County Market, reopening after more than almost 3 decades of being closed. So we're very grateful, and we really want to thank the council and the city for all of your efforts to help make this dream come true. So we're quickly approaching the anniversary of when we started working on this project, which is a bit wild. But yeah, we started about October, I believe it was, Kirk, whenever we first started really talking about it.
Yeah.
So as we get closer to that date, we're reflecting a bit on, all the things that we'd hoped to do. And we're happy to say that our grand opening went off really, really well. We gave away 2 bikes, a cooler, a lot of groceries, a herd of county cows, and also had a couple of bouncy houses that were open to the public. So it ended up being quite the extravagant party, if you will. And we ended up also releasing our new food item, which is a gyro, which was something that we hadn't seen the community have any access to. And since I left Lamar as a local hometown boy, and I went out into the world and found myself a Mediterranean woman, I had to bring gyros back home. So yeah, we really enjoyed getting to share that with the public, and they're going so quickly that my deli manager had to take the second half of the day off because her arm was so sore making gyros all day.
Yeah. I can
So,
imagine.
Yeah.
So one thing I forgot to ask
Mhm.
was generally when we ask people to come up, we just state their name for the
Ah.
record. And I forgot to ask that at the beginning, but that gives you a great opportunity to introduce your family member.
Absolutely. So I'm Landon Michael Brown, and this is my wife, Elizabeth, my eldest daughter, Susan, my son, Elliot, and my youngest, Felicity. And they all have joined us in this endeavor, and they've all sacrificed a lot of their own to make this happen. So I'm very grateful for them and all the support they've given.
You made a good point that we started talking back in October of last year. We had found out about the Safeway closing, and immediately after we started having conversations, and it was just a whirlwind to get things moving. And you guys have just stepped up to the plate and gone above and beyond trying to get this working. And I know it's been a labor of love for you. So I was so thrilled to be there at your grand opening. I think the main part is that the community needs to remember what it was like when we found out that Safeway was closed. Everybody was panicking, everybody was upset. We didn't have any more options. And then when they found out Thriftway was closing, they were even more upset. So now we have Prowers County Market open, and I hope that the community will support you and give you their business and at least go by and see what all the changes you've made and really take a look at what you've done in your progress. So
Yeah. The biggest thing that we need from our community is for them to understand that what it means to be a independent community store is that we're for you guys, we're supported by you, we listen to you. When you send an email, the president and CEO of the company is reading it. So you can't get that with anyone else. And kind of the flip side of that, though, is that, when the option presents itself, we really do need the support of the town in purchasing, not just what's on our ad, but just the everyday average things. And we recognize that, times can be hard for folks and value really matters. And we try our very best to present that value. And there are going to be certain circumstances in which, a particular item that you need, we may not be able to do that. And we understand going where you can to get that, but we also would request that everything else, please help support us. Because whenever there's a choice, we'd ask that you choose local. And we've really bought into the local win local campaign. We very much support that. We very much value what the city is trying to do there as well.
thank you. Did any of the council members want to say anything before?
Well, that's just one thing. I sent you all a message looking for this certain Icelandic yogurt. 2 weeks later, it's on the shelf. That's me. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, hi.
Your guy, yeah, that's, and the Lindenberry jam, like literally, I don't know other place can you go to a store, say, could you get this for me? And then get a message back and saying, we're gonna give it our best. And then 2 weeks later, there it is on the shelf. That's amazing. That is amazing to have that option in our town. So I'm just so thankful you folks here, and the deli's awesome. So thank you so much. You guys have at least my support.
Awesome. And we're bringing in one more line of the Icelandic, by the way.
Yeah. Sold.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
It's much great. Yes, I would like to take the time to thank you for investing in Lamar, Colorado and reopening the store. I know it means a lot to a lot of citizens, and there's a lot of those out there who aren't speaking up that would like to speak up. But for those that aren't speaking up, they are very grateful for that store opening back up, and that you have also provided some of those with jobs there out there. And it brings me great relief that you're listening to us, to those who decide to email you, and that you follow through with that. It means a lot, especially to a guy like me or a family man like me, that if I have a concern or if I want to see something on the shelf, that you would do what you can to try and put that on the shelf. That means quite a bit to me. And I want to thank you and your family and hope that the best for you for many, many years and decades to come.
Thank you so much, Joe.
David?
Well,
Thank
what
you.
I wanted to say was, thank you for bringing it back. I remember when I was just younger, 10, 12 years old, when it was around, it was nice. But, other than that, just the other, stores closing down and having the opportunity to bring it back, that's really nice for the community, and have somewhere for them to go also instead of just one store. And, it's just really great. And thank you for doing that.
Well, I appreciate you coming in. I know at the grand opening, I had extended the invite to have you and your family come and introduce yourself to the community at the city council meeting. I thought it would be a good opportunity for the council to thank you as well. And so we really do appreciate you taking the time. I'm sure you're busy as can be. Before we go, one last question is, I love the herd of cows, but can you explain the cow for us?
Yeah, so my brother did the Augie Bear in La Junta, and it was such a great idea of his, and that he executed perfectly. And so when it was going, we're like, we're not going to be copycats. We're not going to do the same thing. And then we had my deli manager, her grandson saw the Augie Bears, and literally was like, well, I want a county cow. And it was so precious. We were like, okay, we have to do it.
Yeah.
There's no choice. It's too perfect. So that's where we came up with Prowers, the county cow. And we've been handing those out. We're going to continue doing that just to the local businesses around town and whatnot, and also to all those who have supported us. In fact, I was wanting to give the council as a whole a county cow for all of the support you guys have given us.
That is great. Thank you very much. Well, we appreciate you completely. Thank you very much. So now we have a city of Lamar, Colorado county cow. We'll find a place for that out in the public so people can see it and know that we appreciate your investment and your time and dedication to the community.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time. Thank
Thanks
you.
again.
Well, I extended that a little bit because I thought it was important for us to have the opportunity to get an update and to hear about their efforts, and also to show our appreciation for their investment in the community. So I thank them for coming. Moving along, is there anyone else who would like to speak to the council on an item that's not on the agenda? Okay. You just state your name for the record and.
Jay Brook, 41 Prairie Street here in Lamar, a 40-year-plus Lamar resident. Full disclaimer, I'm here to speak something about the Lamar Utility Board, which I am on, but I am not representing the board or speaking for the board. 2 weeks ago at your meeting, you decided to move forward with the possibility of Southeast Power purchasing the Lamar Utility Board. I know it's very far from that final decision. And so there's a long ways to go, but, I serve on the utility board, and I actually found out about this sale. I was in Lamar and somebody was telling me, I understand that council is going to possibly purchase the Lamar Utility Board. And I said, no, I don't think that's true. I would probably know something about it. Got to a meeting later that day and found out, that is true. You are looking seriously at possibly purchasing selling the Lamar Utility Board. So, I'm just a volunteer, so I wouldn't expect that I would be significantly involved in any of that process or have a heads up or anything like that. Although I know Kirk, you, and I think Councilman Headley has recently spoken about the importance of serving on boards. Superintendent Hurrah, who's has spent years here building the Lamar Utility Board. He could have gone to a lot of other things. He chose to dedicate his career to building the utility board and the utility. He's turned it into one of the best municipal utilities in the state, if not the nation. And he picked up a lot of pieces after the disaster of the power plant. I think he could have been more involved in that process. I know he was talked to a while back about it, but this was certainly a surprise to him. And this brings me to my biggest concern, which is the city employees at Lamar Utility. I think you have about 17 great employees over there, many of whom have been very loyal, staying there when they could have gone to other higher paying jobs. They're asking a lot of questions such as, am I going to have a job? Do I need to look for other jobs? I don't know the answer. Do you know the answer to that? Have you talked to them to try to explain what's going on before you lose them? And particularly the linemen are very hard to retain. And I don't know about you, but I would like to be able to have my power turned back on when it goes off in the middle of the night. So I'm very concerned about them, and I hope you will reach out and speak to them. I don't know what reassurances you can give them, but I know they're very upset and need some kind of message from you. I know you're desperate to build a waste treatment plant, and the Southeast DeSale and getting a hold of the utility reserves would go a long ways to do that. I know it seems to me that it's pretty short-sighted, and I would ask if the ends really justify the means. Thank you.
Before you go, I just want to, and we usually don't do the quick answer, but I would like to just make one clarification. What the council agreed upon was to investigate their offer. And I want to make it clear to the public, to the employees, to the staff, to the board. As I had mentioned in the LUB board meeting, it wasn't a yes, we're going to do this, or no, we're not going to do this, because the council doesn't have the authority to sell a utility. Similar to when we had an offer to buy the Lamar Municipal Airport a few years back, we took the stance that we would at least hear what they had to offer and at least give them the opportunity to share their offer. And that is no different than what we're doing here. What we agreed to do was they asked if we would be interested in hearing what they had to say. We agreed to listen to what their offer was. If it comes out that it is a decent offer, or it is something that the council wants to consider, then we would take it to the Lamar Utility Board and say, do you think it's a good offer? Of course, we would check with you first. And if you agree that it's a good offer, if we agree that it's a good offer, then we put it on a ballot for the community to decide. The council does not make this decision at all.
I understand all
We
of
make a
that.
decision whether or not to put it on the ballot, but that's the only question that's there. And as our fiduciary duty, if someone came into Lamar, Colorado and offered $500 million to buy Lamar Light and Power, we should at least listen. And that's the stance I felt like the council took, that we're at least gonna hear what they have to offer and not just automatically say no. With the rates that we have, with the struggles we've had as far as, over the history and the power plants and everything else, I felt like it would be the council and I, not just me, felt like it would be worthwhile to at least investigate and see what they had to offer. And that's the extent of the commitment that we have made, is just to at least hear what they have to say.
I understand, and I think I clarified that it was a long ways from happening. I just wanted to get my 2 cents in.
Okay.
And I think that offering to pay half of the assessment is throwing money at it is a big step in that direction.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, moving right along, we're going to go on with the next item on our agenda, which is reports and correspondence. We'll start off with the city treasurer's report. Kristen?
Today, we have gone out for RFP for these brownfield cleanup grant for the main cafe that has been published. So we are going to start accepting bids for that cleanup project. That one's moving along. We've had some setting up some meetings on the new assessment grant. We have to work on the work plan and some things like that. So Mitch and I are going to get involved in some meetings on that and doing that ahead. So those were the 2 grant updates that I had. I put out in front of you the second quarter financial report. So I'll just give you guys time to review that. If anybody has any questions, please reach out or come visit. I had also been asked to bring some investment rate, the current investment rates to council. So that is also in front of you. Right now, currently we use I think we have business at all of the local banks. We made a decision a couple of years ago to invest some of our and move some of our investment accounts to Colo Trust. And so their rates are have come down a little bit. So as everybody else's. We have 3.75 and 3.52 on their 2 types of accounts. So we had each of the banks we offered that they could turn in their rates. The closest thing that any of the banks have would be CDs at 12 to 24 months. They are, comparable rates. But the drawback to that is that our money, when it's invested in Colo Trust, is liquid. It's just like a checking account. So we can, move money out of there daily with no penalties. And there's no minimum balance requirements. So we have chosen as of right now, to leave the money at Colo Trust at this time. So.
Okay. Looks like there were some pretty decent rates though on the CD side, but I understand liquidity is the problem. Yeah.
Choose the.
Yeah, I just saw the GN Bank one that was pretty significant.
But that one has a balance that we couldn't cut.
Okay.
So we don't.
Okay. Well, thank you for looking at that. I know it was brought up in the past about trying to do that to make sure we, try to support local if we could, but.
C-Safe, they had reached out and wanted to know if we would, be interested in their services. As of right now, their rates are comparable to Colo Trust and they're not on our list of,
All right. Any questions for the treasurer before we move forward?
I don't have any.
Anybody else?
No.
Thank you. No.
Okay. If you can give us a quick look.
We're still working on sales tax. Linda's working through those issues. We haven't gone live yet. So we've got a few bugs we're working out on that one. We went live today on project accounting. We've had our meetings on the Parks and Rec module. I think Colby was really excited about what it's going to be able to do for him and his staff. It was very exciting. So we'll be working on rolling that one out. We're getting ready to roll out ports. We've been working with Kinsey and Pauline and their department. I think that's another one that's going to be really good for the staff and really make things more efficient. So we're Still working, like I said, on sales tax. Next one will be the ARs and the cemetery. We'll roll out those soon. We finished time and attendance. So things are moving along nicely. And also, my on-site audit went, the previous week and then last week through Wednesday. So I'll continue to work with Ronnie, and get him a list of items that he needs. He was here for, I guess it's been 8 days, on site, and, I worked with him on getting him the information that he needed. So we'll continue to work. The deadline that we extended it to was September 30. So we'll continue. Hopefully we'll have something prior to that, if that is something that like to get the audit to the state.
Okay, thank you. All right, city clerk's report.
So Kristen really just gave you an update on the Tyler regarding our office. There's still some bugs to work out on the sales tax. I'm waiting to hear back on the accounts receivable from the information that I've already provided them. And other than that, I have nothing else.
Okay, city administrator.
Thank you, Council and Mayor. Back to school bash is this Saturday, August 1st, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Grace Family Worship Center. The Santa Stage Fair starts Saturday, August 1st and goes through August 8th. The rodeo is the 7th and 8th, so that'll be not this weekend, but next weekend. The Lamar swimming pool last day for the public is Saturday, August 8th. Then it'll be closing for the season. The SECCI Drive for Hope Golf Tournament, Saturday, August 1st at Spring Antlers Golf Course. Reach out to SECCI for all sign up information. The Parks and Recreation Fall Youth Sports registration is open. The deadline to sign up is August 5th, which is a week from tomorrow. Please reach out to Parks and Recreation for all registration questions. Day after tomorrow, we have a really exciting annual event starting, and that's the Corporate Cup. I'd like to invite Brenda Brown, our Community Programs Manager, up to give a quick update. The information I've received that this is going to be quite different and exciting from years past.
It will be indeed. Thank you for having me this evening. On behalf of myself and our Main Street Lamar board, really what I would like to do is extend an invitation to the city council to attend our event. You may not be able to make it every day, but we would love to have you there if you're able to make it. Opening ceremonies start Wednesday evening at 5:30 sharp. We're going to do a couple of welcomes from our platinum sponsors, as well as our mayor and our city administrator. And then we'll start that evening at 6 o'clock with our cornhole tournament. Thursday night's going to be our crazy kickball tournament. And those two events, the two events for Wednesday and Thursday night, will be held at the yellow field for cornhole at the ball complex, and then yellow and green for crazy kickball. Then Friday evening, we're going to move out to the ponds and we're going to start our beach volleyball tournament. And that's all we'll do Friday evening. And then Saturday morning, we'll begin at 8 in the morning with our 5K walk/run. And that's a timed run. So they predict their time for that. And then whoever comes closest gets the most points. We're also going to have kayak races that day. We're going to finish our volleyball tournament. We're going to have a fishing tournament, and then we're going to have our community pride project. And that's a 2-hour project where each team takes a portion of the community and they go out and they clean that portion of the community up. So we're at 12 teams again this year. We had 14 last year. They said it's way too many. We're out way too late at night. Go back down to 12. So we did. It is going to be an event that is going to be very exciting. We had our captains meeting this evening at 5:30, and they were able to view some of the prizes that we're giving away. That's something that we've never done with Corporate Cup is give away prizes, and we have some fantastic things to give away. So super excited for this event. Looks like it might be a little cooler for us on Saturday, which is nice because it's an all-day event, but just wanted to extend an invitation. If you can make it out, especially to opening event, that's going to be the kickoff of the event. But we would love to have you any day. So we wanted to extend that personal invitation to all of you. Okay. Any questions?
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Thank you.
And then the last thing I have is in our community, one of the two most visible departments we have in our community are the police and fire. I'd like to invite Chief Jeremy Burkhart and Chief Kevin Ritter up to the podium I think it's great. Some of this, the feedback I'm getting, from the community as well as the chiefs and our foreign, staff, it's just incredible. So I just thought this would be a good opportunity to have them give a quick update to the council.
Great.
Good evening, Council, Mayor. So the fire department, we love few numbers and we like drawings. We do a lot of drawing, arts and crafts. So what I brought you today is our run statistics for year to date for this year and last year, as well as the line drawing for the truck that we'll be receiving hopefully around the end of February. Cheers.
So as you can see, our calls year to date are about the same. We're within 27 calls or so from this time last year. And it varies year to year. We'll go up a little bit, go down a little bit, but they're always fairly constant. Right now we're running about 5.63 calls per day. So if you think, man, I'm hearing the sirens all the time, it's because you are. We're up from last year. Last year we were 5.52, so not a large increase, but it does happen from time to time, and especially when we're getting multiple calls at once. We've had here in the last week, I think we call it a triple tap, where we have 3 calls paged out at the same time, where we got to sit there and send resources to opposite sides of the city or other communities. So just some nice, easy numbers for you guys to look at, as well as the line drawing of that truck. We're looking, should be coming off the line into September. The unfortunate thing is I seen today, early this afternoon, that a tornado did go through Appleton, Wisconsin, which was it looked like the path was about a half mile away from the factory. So I was talking with our representative earlier today. He says that all the people are accounted for, which is the best part, and they had a little bit of damage to the roof of one of their parts buildings. So way too close to call, but I'm glad all their staff and employees are fine. So, and with this, we'll be seeing it end of February mostly, maybe first of April, somewhere in there, March, April. After it gets done with the tech school, going back to the factory and getting rechecked one more time.
Great. I know we're, I think it's great that you're coming in to give us a kind of a mid-year update. I think we see the fire and the police department all around town, but we never really hear, how it's going. Is things going smooth? Are you good with staff or,
So staff, we're always looking for volunteers. I know we got a couple of applications just come in over the last couple of weeks. This is an exciting time for us because LCC comes back to school and we always get a couple of students out there that volunteer. One of them actually is one on my paid staff now. He's stuck around and is continuing his career with us. So we're excited to see what kind of volunteers we might get out of LCC. Also, I'd like to plug their EMT program. It's getting ready to start back up, the EMT basic program. So if you or anybody in the community thinks, hey, this would be a great time to maybe go ahead and jump in, there is monies for you to go ahead and attend that class. So it's not going to be out of pocket for you. So you can become an EMT basic in the state of Colorado and help to your community. So.
any questions from the council for Chief Burkhardt?
Just really quickly, just want to acknowledge, it's nice that we now have paramedics.
It is, and it's great. We're really moving forward. Elise has really been a great asset to us. And Madison Park, she's making her way through. She should be hopefully in the next couple of months be complete with her clinical period and be back on with full-time with us and station, really providing, both of those two really provide a lot for their community.
Having that bridge between the field and the emergency room it's life-saving.
It is.
So it's nice. Thank you for that and having them on the staff.
Most definitely.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you.
I apologize. I don't have any cool graphs or charts or a cool fire trucks to look at. So I apologize for that. So as I kind of mentioned a little bit earlier, I'm going to touch on a couple of things. First of all, just kind of some overall statistics with the first 6 months as compared to other years, and as well as some challenges regarding our current staffing levels or staffing, some fleet maintenance, and then some department progress and some accomplished goals. So the last couple of years, the enforcement activities have gone up fairly significantly, at least at this point for the first 6 months. It's the beginning of July. This year, in 2026, we show approximately 149% increase since 2023. 25 showed a 61% increase over 2024. And 26 so far has shown a 26% increase over 25. So those are enforcement actions. Those include warrants, citations, tickets, pretty much anything. If a trackable statistic or an enforcement action is noted, that is an increase in that. Calls for service showed about a 16% reduction for the first half, which is good. It's a good correlation for activity to go up and calls for service to go down. And traffic accidents have showed about a 9.9% reduction in the first year from 25 to 26. Not a significant amount, but it's going in the right direction. As far as staffing is concerned, we still are somewhat concerned with the staffing. We were running 2 officers short for most of the year. We just hired an officer about a week and a half ago. Officer Martinez, will have him up here before council the next few weeks. So that's been a great addition. Currently, we have 14 street officers with 3 investigation staff. So that kind of translates into 4 12-hour shifts, and fully staffed, they run 3 officers a shift with 2 officers kind of on a swing shift that cover half of one shift, half into the other, meaning that they run 12 hours from 6 to 6 and then 6 to 6. We traditionally kind of fluctuated between 13 to 16 street officers, so we're not, too high or too low, but I think it's an area where we will reevaluate as far as perhaps having a dedicated traffic enforcement officer that could also come over and coverage shortages if we have a shift that has 2 officers and that officer is available, and a kind of a dual purpose there. The problem with staffing is kind of a duality. It's kind of also not necessarily with allocated personnel, but it's also with the hiring of the officers. The available pool of post-certified officers has diminished significantly since 2020. Depending upon which study you read, it's about a little over 500 officers less in into 25 as there was in 2020. So the pool to be able to pull officers here is a big concern because everybody has shortages. Everybody's had shortages for quite some time. And the current replacement rate of that is about 78%. So as we continue to lose more, there's less people coming in. It's going to be probably more of a significant concern in the next couple of years, especially I think for smaller communities such as us, because a lot of the officers are sticking to, the metro areas, and there's just harder to recruit staff in general for the city as well as the officers. And traditionally, most of the officers' age limit has been a little bit younger. Right now, they have between 10 to 20 years of service. So that is going to start going toward the other end even more rapidly as officers retire and take an early retirement and move on. Dispatch has also been short 2 positions for most of the year. However, as of 2 weeks ago, they're fully staffed. I think we probably went through 30 some applications in order to get those positions filled. Had a lot of applications. I wish that we had that many applications for an officer position, but we don't, or at least certified positions. Moving on to the fleet maintenance, that's kind of another area of concern. Fortunately, we've had to replace 4 engines in the Dodge trucks within the next year. So that's getting to be more and more of a concern. The 2018 and 2020 vehicles are becoming a little bit more unreliable. So that'll be a concern over the next year, 2 years as we try to replace those aging units out. We currently have 1 serviceable spare if one should go down, and that's about 13 years old. So we can't run that too hard. As far as departmental progress or accomplished goals, investigations, they completed a 10-year evidence audit, lost property, kind of a self-imposed audit, which really needed to be done. They went through about 6,000 items, including evidence dispositions. You walk in the evidence room, you could hardly see the floor. It had just been overloaded. It is significantly improved. That only helps get rid of things, but it also helps with the technology be able to find things and keep things as they're supposed to be kept, such as DNA kits, sex assault samples, things of that nature. We've increased the refrigeration units to avoid the specimen contamination like we just talked about and compromising that. That was a big issue that needed to be addressed. Along with that, investigations updated the sex offender registration process and training, as well as finding resources to get a free fingerprint machine. That's $15,000 to $20,000. And a part of those fees, we're going to go into a pool to replace that. Now we don't have to do that. The investigations as well as Detective Camp were able to go out and get that machine that we're waiting for delivery of. We've also been upgrading firearms training and weapon systems to integrate new sightings this year. That's becoming the law enforcement standard. Training budgets increased from last year. Thank you. Has had shown a good progress. That was also used to recertify both of the canines that we have to do every year. It's a big section of that budget all of the time. And we also have a certified decoy officer, so we can do that training here in-house and we don't have to go out to do that. We also try to really work on community awareness and the media releases, not just for people that have been arrested or charged cases or case updates, but also community involvements, things that we're doing, things that we want to get involved with the community. It's kind of been a big goal of mine, and I think we can always do better, but I think we're doing well in that aspect, and we want to continue to do that. Increased overall community development and working with the schools to try to get an increased officer presence in the schools. Some of the officers took it upon themselves to rotate different times to go in and visit through all the schools. So it's kind of doing that in the absence of a school resource officer until such time where I actually engage with the superintendent and see the viability of moving that. That's kind of tied to the first issue of staffing, because they have to be able to staff the streets first before I can put an officer in the school. And of course, the council approved the integration of the body cameras and that technology, which is pretty significant in and of itself. Also for complying with records requests and redactions. So that's been great. And of course, what we're here to discuss, just the next budgetary item, implementation of the photo radar system. We're hoping a significant decrease in the speed violations in the school zones and having that going and being able to analyze the data as that comes in to see if that's an area that we want to look at expanding and what possible impact it's had, not only hopefully in reduction of accidents, but just the overall volume of individuals that are speeding. We have the data from last year, and we can go for a year after, a year and a half out and compare to see where we're at. Probably do it in 3 months and then do a good total analysis after about a year. So, and most of all, in conclusion, I just want to say that I'm really proud of all the staff, all the police department staff. They've really adopted a good proactive approach to doing things differently, more efficiently, better. I really appreciate all the behind the scenes, so to speak, staff, the people that you don't see all the time, the administrative staff, the support staff, and dispatch. Everybody's been doing fantastic. So I'm really, really proud to be working with all the great people here at the agency. And that's it.
Great. Council, does anybody have any questions for the chief?
I don't have any.
When did you say the photo radar stuff would start?
We're going to have the second reading tonight, and if passed, we'll have a signature on the ordinance, and then I believe there's a 30-day waiting period. During that time, we contact them, we set up the equipment, and then there's a 30-day mandatory warning period, and then it'll be implemented or go live after that point. So you're still looking at about 2 months out.
Okay, thank you.
So October-ish.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Well, thank you for everything. I know it's been a big change for you in the new position, and you've made some significant improvements and changes, and appreciate everything that you're doing for sure. And the staff, everybody's doing great.
Staff's doing great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the update.
Thank you.
And that the Secretary's report, unless you have questions for me.
I don't have any. Anybody else?
No, I don't have any.
Okay. Seeing none, we'll just zoom through the reports and correspondence from the council. I'll let Joe start. He usually starts. Do you have any reports?
Well, I don't have anything for the council tonight, but I will be meeting with Colby this coming Thursday to get an update as to what he's going to be working on with future projects, things that are in place now. And that's going to be a great opportunity to catch up with things. And I'm excited to meet with him. And then I'll have something to bring back to city council for the next following meeting.
Okay. Mark?
Historic preservation, we did not meet this month, just due to some scheduling issues. We'll meet next month, and nothing from the senior center.
Okay. David?
No, I don't have anything at the moment.
Brad?
I don't have anything, just an apology for being late tonight.
No worries.
Overwhelming this week, sorry.
Yeah, you've had a busy week with the grand opening last week and
That's correct.
new expansion and everything else. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, with no other reports from or correspondence from the council, I do have one item I guess I need to share. I received this card and I haven't even opened it up, so we're going to see what it is together. but it is from Frontier National Bank, who was one of the big sponsors. And the card says, "Thank you for making it happen. The success of the Lamar 4th of July Wet Drive Parade was only possible because of people like you, the City Council. Whether you donated, sponsored, volunteered your time, or helped behind the scenes, you played an important role in creating a memorable celebration for our community. Thank you for helping us celebrate America's 250th birthday, Colorado's 150th anniversary, and Lamar's 140th anniversary. We appreciate you from your friends at Frontier Bank." And we appreciate Frontier Bank for being the lead sponsor of that event. It was a tremendous event. We're looking forward to trying to keep this as an annual event if at all possible. So, all right, moving right along, we have the ordinance second reading. I know most people don't like to sit through these ordinances, but they are a required portion of our job. I'll try to read through it as quick as possible unless anybody else feels like they want to. Anybody? Anybody? Okay. All right, ordinance number 1286, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Lamar, Colorado, adding new sections 2613 to chapter 26 of the Lamar Municipal Code to establish regulations for the automated vehicle identification system in the City of Lamar, Colorado. Whereas the City of Lamar, Colorado City is a home rule charter city of the state of Colorado, duly organized and operating under the Constitution and laws of the state of Colorado. And whereas the City of Lamar seeks to enhance public safety and reduce traffic-related injuries, and whereas pursuant to Colorado Revised Statutes 424110.5, the city is authorized to utilize automated vehicle identification systems to detect violations for the traffic regulations adopted by the city, subject to certain conditions and limitations. And whereas the City of Lamar has completed traffic studies and maintains traffic data concerning incidents and crashes, speeding, reckless driving, and community complaints in the city. Whereas the speed of vehicles traveling in excess of the speed limits in Lamar, Colorado presents an immediate danger for the citizens of Lamar, and that reducing such speeds in the excess of the speed limit will immediately preserve the welfare and life of children and citizens of the city. And whereas the City Council desires to establish clear rules for the use of photo enforcement to ensure fairness, transparency, and compliance with all state laws, and whereas the City Council finds and declares that the addition of section 2613 to the Lamar Municipal Code regarding the use of automated vehicle identification systems as set forth herein is proper and necessary to advance the public health, safety, and welfare of the city residents. Now, therefore, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Lamar, Colorado as follows. Section 1, a new section 2613 of chapter 26 of the Lamar Municipal Code is hereby added to read as follows. Section 2613, automated vehicle identification system. A, purpose to regulate the use of automated vehicle identification systems, AVIS, for traffic enforcement and promoting public safety while protecting individual rights. B, for the purpose of these sections, the following definition shall apply except where otherwise specified. Number 1, automated vehicle identification system shall have the same meaning as provided in Colorado Revised Statutes 42-4-110.5. Number 2, civil penalty assessment notice shall mean a notice mailed by first class mailed or personally served to a registered owner of a vehicle involved in any speed violation or traffic control signal violation that has previously received a notice of violation. Number 3, notice of violation shall mean a notice mailed by first class or personally served to a registered owner of a vehicle involved in any speed violation or traffic control signal violation detected by an automated vehicle identification system, advising that the violation has been detected, or a similar notice mailed to the operator of the vehicle identified by a registered owner of said vehicle. 4, residential neighborhood shall have the same meaning as provided by the Colorado Revised Statutes 42-4-110.5. C, notices of violation in general. Number 1, if the city detects any alleged violation of a county or municipal traffic regulation or traffic violation of the state law using an automated vehicle identification system, then the city shall issue or cause its vendor to issue to the registered owner of the motor vehicle involved in the alleged violation by first class mail or personal service a notice of violation. 2, the city may issue a notice of violation for violations that occur within a school zone as identified under Colorado Revised Statutes 42-4-6-15. Number 2, within a residential neighborhood. Number 3, within a maintenance, construction, or repair zone designated pursuant to Colorado Revised Statutes 42-4-6-14. 4, along a street that borders a city park. 5, along a street or highways inside the city limits with a speed limit of 35 miles per hour or less. 6, along the street or portion of the street which the city designates as an automated vehicle identification system corridor. Or 7, within AVI corridors. AVI corridors must be approved by CDOT and Colorado State Patrol pursuant to Colorado Revised Statutes 42-4-110.5. Number 3, the notice of violation shall include the requirements listed in Colorado Revised Statutes 42-4-110.5 and at minimum contain the following information. 8, the name and address of the registered owner of the motor vehicle involved in the alleged violation. 9, the license plate number of the motor vehicle involved in the alleged violation. 10, the date, time, and location of the alleged violation. 11, the amount of the civil penalty prescribed for the alleged violation. 12, the deadline for payment of the prescribed civil penalty and for disputing the alleged violation. And 13, information on how the registered owner may either dispute the alleged violation at a hearing or pay the prescribed penalty. The notice shall contain a written deadline for disputing the alleged violation, which is not less than 45 days after the issuance of the date of the notice. D, to protest a notice of violation, the registered owner must request in writing a hearing to dispute the alleged violation. E, speeding violations. 1, for a speeding violation of less than 10 miles per hour over the posted speed limit under the city traffic regulation or under state law through the use of automated vehicle identification system, the violation may be cited as followed. 1, for the registered owner's first offense, a written warning with no penalty or surcharge. And 2, for the registered owner's second or subsequent offenses, a notice of violation. Number 2, for a speeding violation of 10 miles per hour or over the posted speed limit and under the city traffic regulation or under state law through the use of the automated vehicle identification system, the city shall issue or cause its vendor to issue to the registered owner of a notice of violation. F, civil penalty. The maximum civil penalty for speeding violation under this section, including any surcharge, is $40 unless if the violation is within a school zone, in which case the maximum penalty shall be $80. However, a violation that occurs within a maintenance, construction, or repair zone designated pursuant to Colorado Revised Statutes 42-4-614 may be subject to a civil penalty of $80. Notwithstanding the foregoing, the penalty for a speeding violation or traffic control signal violation under this section shall not exceed any penalty provided by the applicable provisions of the Colorado Revised Statutes. G, signage. The city shall, number 1, post a permanent sign in a conspicuous place not fewer than 300 feet before the beginning of the automated vehicle identification system corridor, and a permanent sign not fewer than 300 feet before each camera within the corridor thereafter. And or 2, post a temporary sign not fewer than 300 feet before any mobile camera. H, automated vehicle identification system corridors. Number 1, pursuant to Colorado Revised Statutes 42-4-110.5, subsection 2, subsection G, subsection I, the city will identify automated vehicle identification system corridors based on the collected traffic data in the place of the automated vehicle identification system to represent the highest traffic safety needs of the city. The city council may designate the location of the automatic vehicle identification system corridor by ordinance or resolution. Determining the location of each automated vehicle identification system corridor shall be based on the need of a traffic study. The city designates the following locations to be included as part of the automated vehicle identification corridor. Number 1, school zones, and number 2, Main Street within the city limits. Number 2, the city shall illustrate through data collected within the past 5 years incidents of crashes, speeding, reckless driving, and community complaints on the streets designated as an automated vehicle identification system corridor. Number 3, the city will coordinate with the Department of Transportation and the Colorado State Patrol in designated corridors. Number 4, if applicable, the city will publish a report on its website disclosing the number of citations and revenue generated by the automated vehicle identification system corridor. The chief of police shall present an annual report to the city council evaluating each automated vehicle identification system location and recommending whether to continue, relocate, expand, or remove the system. Number 5, the city shall not locate an automated vehicle identification system corridor on any highway that is part of the federal interstate highway system. I, civil penalty assessment notices. 1, if the city has not received the prescribed civil penalty or written notice requesting a hearing to dispute the alleged violation by the deadline provided in the notice of violation, then the city shall issue or cause its vendor to issue a civil penalty assessment notice to be served to the registered owner either by first-class mail or personal service. Number two, the civil penalty assessment notice includes the requirements listed in Colorado Revised Statutes 42.4, 110.5, and at a minimum, contain the following information. One, the name and address of the registered owner of the motor vehicle involved in the alleged violation, the license plates of the motor vehicle involved in the violation, the date, time, and location of the alleged violation, the amount of civil penalty prescribed by the alleged violation, the deadline for payment of the prescribed civil penalty, and six, information on how to pay the prescribed civil penalty. Number three, if the registered owner fails to pay the fully prescribed civil penalty by the deadline stated in the civil penalty assessment notice, a final order of liability shall be entered against the registered owner of the vehicle. The final order of liability must be personally served by the registered owner. Final orders of liability may be appealed as to matters of law and fact in the Powers County Court. Number four, the city may initiate or pursue a collection action against the registered owner of a motor vehicle for debt resulting from a final order of liability, contingent upon the personal service of the notice violation or the final order of liability. Number five, the city shall not report to the Department of Transportation any conviction or entry of judgment taken against a defendant for the violation of a municipal traffic regulation or traffic violation under the state law of the violation if the violation was detected through the use of automated vehicle identification systems. Number six, if the registered owner fails to pay the fully prescribed civil penalty, the city shall not attempt to enforce that penalty by immobilizing the registered vehicle's owner's vehicle. J, vendors. Number one, no portion of the fine collected through the use of an automated vehicle identification system may be paid to the manufacturer or vendor of the automated vehicle identification system equipment. The compensation to such vendor by the city shall be based on the value of such equipment and the value of any services provided and may not be based upon the number of traffic citations issued or the revenue generated by such equipment or services. K, data retention. Number one, the city shall one, program the automated vehicle identification system to retain data only when a violation of the county or municipal traffic regulation or traffic violation under the state law occurs. Number two, treat all photographs and video collected by the automated vehicle identification systems as confidential and exempt from disclosure and inspection pursuant to the Colorado Open Records Act, Part 2 of Article 72, Title 24 of the Colorado Revised Statutes. Number three, not use, disclose, sell, or permit access to photographs, video, or personable identifiable data collected by the automated vehicle identification system except to the extent necessary to operate the program, including for purposes of processing violations, for the law enforcement purposes, for transferring data to the new vendor operating system, or pursuant to the court order for its unrelated legal proceedings. And four, destroy any photographs and video of a violation collected by the automated vehicle identification system within 3 years after the final disposition of the violation unless the photographs or video are maintained in a separate system for other purposes allowed by law. Section 2, repealer. All ordinances, resolutions, bylaws, and regulations of the city in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed to the extent only of such inconsistency. The repealer shall not be construed to revive any ordinance, resolution, or bylaw or regulation thereof or part thereof herefore repealed. Section 3, severability. If any section, paragraph, clause, or provision of this ordinance shall be held invalid or unenforceable, the invalidity or unenforceability of such section, paragraph, clause, or provision shall not affect any other provision of this ordinance. Section 4, effective date. The ordinance shall be in full force and effect 30 days after publication following its final passage and adopted. So now we would need to determine whether or not we want to vote in for the final passage and adoption.
Do we need a motion or just?
Yes. So it was stated on the bottom there.
Make a motion to approve the ordinance on the second reading, establishing the regulations governing the use of automated vehicle identification systems within the city of Lamar.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve it on the second reading. All those in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
All right. Boy, I was getting kind of tired there at the end. All right, moving right along, we will keep the meeting going. We have Stephanie Struby here with a professional service agreement with My Role Planner. Welcome, Stephanie.
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor. So I'm here tonight because the city of Lamar, our last meeting approved the grant for the Lamar Expanding Affordable Housing Capacity in the amount of $50,000. I would like to propose that we go into this professional service agreement with Michael Yerman from My Role Planner. This would be a continuation from the previous agreement that we had with him to work on additional code work for updates, expedited code review implementation, blighted homes, nuisance enforcement updates, housing liaison services, and other eligible DOLA grant work. One of the big things that we'd like to work on first off is chapter 22 of the code. And I promise it won't be as long as chapter 30 was.
That's good. That was a long chapter.
That was a long chapter.
Okay, council, do you have any questions on this professional service agreement?
I don't have any.
I don't have any.
Do we have a motion?
Yeah, I'd make a motion to approve the professional service agreement with Rural Planner and authorize the mayor to sign.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any final questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is the annual agreement for use of Llama Augmentation Station. It's initiated by Pat Mason. Mr. Mason.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So staff's been working over the last year trying to put together a renewed annual agreement for the use of the Fort Bend Llama Aug Station. In the past, we've actually had an agreement with them where we used Fort Bend shares. What we'd rather do in this instance for this irrigation season and this agreement would be to use the newly approved 300 Lamar Canal shares and an additional 50 Lamar Canal shares that we've had. So that would free up around 360 of our Fort Bend shares. So I know our water attorney and our water engineers have both thoroughly worked on this. So, I mean, they're satisfied that it's agreeable. I don't know, Lance has had an opportunity to look at it. So staff would recommend council approve the new annual agreement with Llama for the use of the Aug stations.
Llama is the Lower Arkansas Valley Water Management Association.
That's correct.
Okay, just in case there was somebody that wasn't aware.
We use them more or less to return pumping, our well pumping. We have to replace that water through augmentation. So it has to be sent through a structure where it's, kept track of and measured for compliance. And so that's the reason why we have to use their official log station for those return flows. So.
Okay. Okay. Council?
So is this an agreement that's been in place in the past and it's just kind of renewing it, or?
It had been in place in the past, but in all honesty, I wasn't aware of it. And Llama recently, Roy Q actually manages Llama now, and he wasn't aware of it either until recently. So we both, when it came to our attention, decided we would get it renewed. So.
Okay.
And it's a good thing to do it annually. That way, if we decided to change whatever water shares we wanted to use in lieu of payment, we would have the ability to do that annually. So this agreement actually, if approved, would be retroactive back to the beginning of this irrigation season, April through end of October this year. So. And then if approved, you'll see me back here probably March of next year to reapprove it. So.
Okay. Any other questions?
I have one for Lance. Lance, I'm assuming that if there was any concerns that would be brought forth before we approve this, is that correct?
Yeah, I've reviewed the agreement and actually went through our water attorney as well, who drafted it, but I don't have any concerns with it.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I make a motion to approve the agreement for the use of the Llama Augmentation Station or other actions as council seems appropriate, and let the mayor sign.
I'll second.
Okay, so we'll approve the agreement with the motion and let the mayor sign as needed. Any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. Next item on the agenda is still speaking about water. We're gonna get a systems, city water status update report, and we have Tressa here today.
Good evening,
Tressa,
Mayor,
welcome.
Council, fellow staff, citizens.
First time ever, huh?
I think this is my third time.
Third time.
So I'm getting a little bit better about being nervous, but mine is going to be really easy because you don't have to approve anything tonight.
I like that.
I'm Tressa Holbert, compliance specialist and team lead for the water wastewater department. I'm excited to be here and give this report tonight, talk a little bit about what I'm very passionate about. My mentors and supervisors, Pat Mason and Robbie Batdorf, are here if I get that deer in the headlights look and start walking in circles or something. First thing I'd like to talk about is the severe drought conditions. According to NOAA, this is our driest year on 130 years of recorded history. In May, on May 11th, the council approved stage 2 water restrictions, which has the citizens of Lamar watering 3 days a week, depending on their address, during specified hours. That was passed to help alleviate demand upon our wells. We have had a lack of snow melt, which typically contributes to our recharge water for our wells. Our citizens are making efforts to conserve, but because of the extreme heat, there's been a higher demand on our water consumption. Last year at this time of year, we had used 303 million gallons. To date, this year, we've used 306 million gallons, which is a 1.1% increase. Currently, we are using approximately 2.27 million gallons daily in the city of Lamar. So we'd like to just encourage our citizens to continue their water conservation efforts. If the dry conditions continue to exist, the staff for the water department is currently monitoring that situation. And if it does not improve, we will come back and request further conservation actions. Moving on to water quality, I'm pleased to report that our drinking water remains safe, fully compliant, and meets or exceeds all EPA and state primary and secondary drinking water standards.
Great.
Our free chlorine residual remains stable around our target of 0.70 milligrams per liter. Our fluoride injection system is operating consistently and safely staying within recommended guidelines. And we continue to sample monthly for bacteria. And I'm pleased to report that I have a 100% record of no positive results. Finally, I want to highlight the significant progress our team and contractors have made on key infrastructure projects across the city. Starting with the Willow Valley Waterline Improvement Project, our contractor, Kerrigan's Excavation, has installed a modern 12-inch PVC line running in front of the homes in the street. It will replace the legacy 14-inch cast iron line, which was originally installed in 1930. The final phase of connecting individual service lines is underway, which will be followed by main connections to decommission the 14-inch water line. And then the street crew will do a full road repaving project in the area. We've also added 3 new fire hydrants, bringing the neighborhood total to 5 for improved fire protection. We also are working on a water line project on West Oak Street. Our crews are continuing to install valves along West Oak Street to isolate and replace the aging 6-inch main between 7th Street all the way to 13th Street. It has a history of breaking. Our long-term goal is to replace this main in sections, starting with the 11th Street to 13th Street section. We will try to make the transitions as seamless as possible to minimize service disruptions for our residents. We are also working towards a new wastewater treatment plant. We are moving steadily toward a new wastewater treatment plant. Staff is scheduled to meet with our engineering firm, JVA, this Thursday to review the 30% design plan. Our lead and copper service line replacements. Out of the 22 lead service lines discovered during our initial inventory phase, we have successfully replaced 19 lines to date, putting us at 86% completion. And finally, our sanitary sewer inflow and infiltration, also known as I&I. We are aggressively tackling groundwater infiltration into our sewer system. During routine field inspections, staff identified 4 failing manholes taking on heavy groundwater. After repairing these manholes, we estimate we've eliminated approximately 100,000 gallons per day of groundwater processing at the treatment plant. By sealing those 4 high leak manholes, we stopped a massive volume of groundwater from overwhelming our sewer mains, saving significant electrical and processing costs at the treatment plant. Moving forward, a full system-wide I&I study will be conducted alongside the new wastewater treatment plant project to identify remaining areas of concern. And in closing, I'd just like to say our staff remains focused on protecting our water supply, keeping our infrastructure moving forward, and ensuring high-quality service for Lamar. Thank you for your time, and we are happy to answer any questions council may have.
Anybody? Any questions from the council?
I don't have any questions. Thank you.
That was very thorough.
Thank you.
Very thorough. Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. I think the community needs to know where our water and wastewater system is, and it's a very good update to let the community know. Thank you very much. A lot happens in the background people don't realize, and water and wastewater is one of those that you just turn on your faucet and expect it to work, and you don't realize how much goes into bringing clean, fresh water to your house, and we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving right along. Contract for services with Meta Traffic LLC. Looks like this one was initiated by Mitch Hemis and Chief Ritter.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. We just passed the ordinance on the second reading allowing for automated vehicle identification. This is the contract with the vendor that we hope to use if you'll approve this contract tonight. And I'll turn it over to Chief Ritter.
Yeah, so don't have a whole lot extra to add. We've went through this contract a couple of times and clarified anything as well as the company's gone through it. They provide a standard contract. It is very standard for a lot of other vendors that they've used. And I think it's been gone through by Lance and Rich and myself. And it is the system to implement this and have it ready as soon as the waiting period after the second ordinance read.
Now, I noticed you have in your packet here 2 letters of recommendation from the town of Blanca, the town of Los Animas. So they are users of this.
Yes, and there's, I believe, 3 or 4 other ones, but we haven't received them yet to go ahead and put them in with the packet, but there are several.
I just know there was a lot of concern regarding, I won't say names, but certain products that were vehicle identification as far as security and risks, but this is one that you haven't seen any problems with?
No, now he said, yeah, it's a whole different system. And he went through some of the processes and some of the security that's in place. I don't have that in front of me here, but there's 4 or 5 different systems as far as protecting the data, made sure it's not getting compromised and make sure that it's available and retention applies with the retention period and everything else that's mandated by statute.
Okay. Council, do you have any questions? Okay, and Lance was
I
able
don't
to
have any.
review this?
On them getting city account. I'm not.
Well, yeah, I don't have a whole lot of specificity to speak with that. So if you have any more specific questions, I'd have to get that. And maybe we could set up a one-on-one with the representative to discuss that. But yeah, I think as far as, and perhaps Commander Sherrill can speak to that a little bit more, but I think that is standard with all of the companies or all the municipalities that they do business with.
They would just keep part of it.
There's no upfront cost or upfront fees, but there is a rental fee for the equipment. There's no money that we put forth. And if there's any negative balance, we don't owe that. They just write that off. They continue to, they bill it in arrears, but we never pay for it. They will write it off at a point to where it's not beneficial for both of us. And then the contract is terminated. So we're never going to owe anything. We don't owe anything up front, and we're never going to owe anything if we terminate the contract. Yes, yes, it's taken all out from the monthly fees as well as the processing per hour fee. And again, if it's not effective enough and that's not covered from 1 month, they continue to roll that over until such time that they have a conversation with us and they say, look, this isn't working. It's not really working for the community. It's not having impact on safety. We're not covering our costs. So we need to think about terminating the contract, and we don't owe any funds.
Like information on them maintaining a city checking.
I guess I'm confused. I read it. I didn't see that they maintain city check.
Says MT will maintain a dedicated city checking. Citation and payment. So what is that?
Elected citation payments.
I just.
Oh, you said collateral. That's why I was like, collected, yeah. Okay. So they would just set up one to, when somebody pays online or pays outside to go to their account, that's what the.
Yes, my understanding is that they maintain an account where after they subtract and do the audit from processing fees, and they make the deposit for the residual directly into our account. And that's how the transfer of funds are initiated.
Yeah, so I guess my understanding is that the payment would be, so the payments get paid to the vendor. They are gonna hold that into a city account, on their own system. It'll be separate from any other accounts that they have with providers. Any of the costs, the annual costs or the monthly costs incurred, they would take out their costs from that. And then anything over that goes back to the city. I mean, we can, I don't see any issue in getting clarification on it. But that's my understanding of how that process would play out.
Okay. Then we'll have the access and viewability to audit this account. So we'd be able to do settlement and audits as needed.
Yeah. And so they're not taking a fee. They're not taking a percentage of the fee. They're not getting paid per ticket. That would be a violation of the statute. So
it's billable hours to process the violations, whether that's 2, 4, 100, they bill a set percentage per hour. And I think it's what they estimate 12 to 15 citations per hour.
Okay. Okay, council. Any questions from the council members?
I don't have any.
And you have reviewed it all on the contract itself?
I've read through all of the contracts. We've made changes to it. We included that we would be able to terminate that. So it's a 3-year contract. We included that we'd be able to terminate this in 90 days upon notice to the other party as well. So if it wasn't working for some reason, either party has the option to terminate it after 90 days notice.
After 90 days or with a 90-day notice?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right, what's the council pleasure? What would you like to do?
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement to to provide operational framework needed to implement the city's automatic traffic safety program while maintaining appropriate oversight and accountability.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. I would only ask that maybe we add to the motion that we would also request to have the review done with the city treasurer to make sure that we're being compliant with the needs of the treasurer. Is that, can you add that to your motion or just agree
Yeah.
to add that to your motion?
Agreed. So agreed.
And then, are you agreeable with your second?
Second.
Okay. To add review with the city treasurer to ensure compliance.
And you're referring to the account that was.
For the account, for the checking account, compliance with it. Is that everything that you want in there to make sure? Okay. Okay. All right, so we'll have that in the motion. We'll have that in the second. Any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
How long
Mayor
did it take?
Crispin,
Go
Mayor
ahead.
Crispin, if you don't mind, this is where I need to log off and I need to go take care of a few more things here. If you don't mind, I want to wish you guys well and thank you for allowing me to join you by Zoom.
Thank you. Okay,
You guys have a great evening.
thank you, Joe. Chief, I was just gonna ask, what is the time frame that we're looking at? You said October, right?
Yeah, they can have it implemented as soon as we comply with a 30-day period, or as soon as this becomes effective, they can have equipment here, I think, over the weekend. We just have to give them the time frame, and then the 30-day warning period starts.
Okay, just thought I'd
We
clarify.
can start working on that now that it's been passed.
And do you know how they provide the warning to the, is it just like in the newspapers?
It's the same as a citation. You'll receive something in the mail.
No, I mean, as far as what I'm understanding is you let the public, you give the public a notice.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah, there'll be a posting.
A
And there'll be,
posting.
I believe it has to be posted in the paper.
Okay.
And then there's also some signage once the equipment gets hooked up. So there's plenty of compliance with the state there.
That's what I was, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is agenda number 5, approval by council of the 2027 budget calendar. This is initiated by Kristen Schwartz, our city treasurer.
Yes, so annually, the council adopt the budget calendar for the 2027, the development of the 2027 budget. Just dates change from year to year, same process. And we tend to follow with that. So we're just asking, I am just asking for approval of the 2027 budget calendar as presented.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2027 budget calendar as presented.
And I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other questions?
Don't have any.
Seeing none, all those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay, next on the agenda is a resolution of necessity of the city council of the city of Lamar, Colorado. Mitch?
Yes, so this is a resolution related to the land swap for the wastewater treatment facility. And Lance has some information on it.
So essentially, the resolution is for the purposes of allowing the law firm that's assisting with this project to continue to move forward with the condemnation eminent domain process, as well as working to obtain an appraisal, which is a separate item, but encompassed in part of what this resolution is asking for. Really just ensuring that that Spencer Fane still has the authorization from the council to continue to proceed forward with the condemnation eminent domain process, which includes the title work being done, the appraisal work. And speaking with the legal representative from the firm, I think the anticipated timeline is to try to have this all completed by the end of the year.
Just to clarify for those that are listening, this is a land swap that we would be performing. It is an eminent domain, however, it's a friendly, what, I guess it's not the eminent domain piece, it's the condemnation piece that's friendly. And agreed upon by both parties, the city and the trading partner, is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, there's already been communication conversations about what this would look like. This resolution just gives the authority to the law firm to be able to continue to proceed with those negotiations and eventually have to file a condemnation, given the kind of how the land's titled and situated. So this resolution will help effectuate that moving forward, which in the ultimate end will at least the preliminary agreements right now are land swap as has been discussed. Certain pieces of land moving and changing, but in order to get that done legally, we have to go through the condemnation process. This resolution helps get that to that point.
Okay, any questions from the council?
Don't have any.
All right, seeing none, do we have a motion?
I'll move to approve the resolution of necessity, the city council of the city of Lamar, and allow the mayor to sign.
Second that. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay. And agenda item number 7, accept Titan commercial valuation agreement and appraisal services and allow the mayor to sign. This is related, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Basically, what this is authorizing Titan commercial valuation to buy valuation on the 3 parcels that are involved in that land deal for the wastewater treatment. So.
Okay. All right.
And I'm assuming you've looked at all of this, obviously, probably.
Yeah, so obviously, so initially the initial appraisal amount was much higher. But we were able to discuss that with the litigating partner about the fact that this is really a land swap situation, and all the parties were agreeable to doing sort of just a market valuation instead of a more expensive, time-consuming condemnation evaluation. And we've had, Mitch and I have had conversations with them, and everyone seems to be on board with proceeding this way. So this would allow the appraisal to take place on all 3 properties so that that can be included in an agreement with everybody.
Okay.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve and allow the mayor to sign this agreement.
I'll say.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Not any other questions? I'll ask you all to, those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
All right, moving on to miscellaneous, item number 8. Do we have any miscellaneous items?
Do not.
I do need to get some council members on the radio. It's been a couple of months since we've been on to give any updates. Do we have any volunteers, or Mitch, do you want to join me tomorrow on one? And
I'd love to do.
okay. We can do one of them, but we probably need to do the other one as well, the other station as well. I don't know if anybody can do KVAY or.
I gotta go to Lahaina tomorrow, so I can.
Bummer, okay. Just need somebody to do the KVAY one, but we can do that on the next meeting if you want to rotate it.
I'll definitely do it next time.
Okay, well, why don't we plan for that and I'll reach out and let them know that we'll have you there next meeting. Okay. All right. Okay, if there's no other miscellaneous items, we'll move on to the executive session. We have two executive sessions, one for a conference with the city attorney for the purpose of receiving advice on specific legal questions under Colorado Revised Statutes 246402 subsection 4 subsection A regarding eminent domain and urban development. And then number 2, for a conference with the city attorney for the purpose of receiving legal advice on specific questions under Colorado Revised Statutes 246402 subsection 4 subsection A regarding the city charter requirements. There will be no decisions coming out of the executive session, so we will immediately adjourn the council meeting following the executive session. But do we have a motion to move into executive session?
I'll move to executive session.
Okay. Do
I'll
we have,
second that.
we have a motion and a second to enter into the executive session. All those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
All right, well, thank you all for joining us tonight. Our next meeting will be on Monday, August the 10th at 7 p.m. We hope to see you then, and we thank you for joining us tonight.